trying again, Marvin.
Don't tell me it's Halloween already.
Only 3 days away, Mildred.
I know, but why rush it? A rotten day like Halloween.
Well, I have to take these decorations over to the hospital. We're having a party for the little deaf children over there.
Haven't they been through enough? I know it's a little early in the day, Mrs. McMillan, but you know what holidays do to me. Halloween's only the beginning. Then we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. No, I don't think I'll really be myself again until sometime early in March.
March? What happened to February?
Yeah, well, I do start to taper off around Lincoln's birthday, but then we have Valentine's Day and, of course, George's birthday. No, I don't think you ought to count on me until sometime early in March.
I'll get that, Mildred. Hello? Oh, George, certainly I remember you. How are you? You're talking too fast. I can't understand you. Oh, sure. I'm coming over there anyway with some decorations. A half an hour? Well, I guess I could make it. What is it, George? What's wrong? Can't you tell me over the telephone? All right, George. Room 112. I'll be there.
Don't tell me Halloween's gonna be early this year. I never forgave Roosevelt for moving up Thanksgiving.
It was George Comstock at the hospital. He says I'm in some sort of danger. Well, I don't know. He didn't make any sense. He just kept saying over and over again that I was in some sort of danger. Poor George. I hope he's going to be all right. He sounded so frightened.
Poor George. You're the one he said was in danger.
What kind of danger could I be in? And what would George Comstock know about it?
Well, he's a pharmacist, isn't he? Maybe somebody gave you a bum prescription.
Dr. Bleeker, please call extension 617. Dr. Bleeker, please call extension 617.
Hello, Sally. Need some help?
Sam, how are you?
Where's room 112?
112. It's down the hall.
You go on ahead, Mildred.
What are you running here? Halloween concession?
No, we're having a little...
Miss Crane, Miss Pam Crane, call extension 907.
Hey, what the... Help! This is McMillan! I just saw murder!
What?
Man was being strangled right before my eyes.
We better take a look.
You can't, it's locked. Well, they were in here.
Like the door was locked?
If Mildred says she saw a murder, she saw a murder. Sally, what seems to be the trouble? Hi, Pam.
There was a murder, that's the trouble.
Mrs. McMillan's maid.
Housekeeper?
Fran.
Whoever. She thought she saw somebody being strangled.
Who did you see exactly?
Well, he was tall, and he had a mole right here.
George Comstock.
That was George Comstock?
Maybe they went through here.
Yes, ma'am?
Did you see anyone leave that room, or room 112?
No, ma'am. The patients in both rooms checked out this morning. They've been empty since.
George called and he asked me to meet him in room 112. He kept saying over and over that I was in some sort of danger. I didn't realize that he was in danger, just trying to warn me.
Commissioner, room 112 is clean, sir. Nothing.
Thanks, Charlie. Well, we can't be sure of anything, of course, until we locate Comstock.
Then you better start looking for a corpse, Commissioner.
You say he's on vacation?
The corpse?
George Comstock is on vacation. However, I've sent for his wife. She's on her way over now.
But she works in the hospital, doesn't she?
Yes, next ray. But this is her day off.
Oh, good morning. Pam, I understand there's been some kind of confusion.
Yes, Doctor, but Commissioner McMillan is looking into it now. Of course, you've both met Dr. Ernest Bleeker, our resident celebrity.
Please. One best-selling diet book is hardly any claim to immortality.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, sir. I shall be grateful to you for the rest of my life. I bought your diet book this summer, and frankly, sir, it's made a new man of me.
Oh, good, good.
What's the matter, Mildred? You all right?
Yeah, I was just thinking how much this looks like the face of the murderer. Oh, it wasn't human, that face.
Enright, why don't you take Mildred and get this description in detail? That is, if you feel like it.
Anything to get out of the house, Commissioner.
Mac, I'm really worried about Mildred. It's quite a shock to see somebody murdered and then not even be able to prove it.
Yeah, it certainly is. But you're the one I'm worried about.
Me?
Yeah, aren't you the one he said was in danger?
Good point.
Any idea what he had in mind?
No, he just said that he had to talk to me and that he couldn't tell me over the phone.
Well, why room 112?
I don't know. He said that nobody would be there and that way we could talk privately.
How well do you know him?
Mac, I've talked to him a couple of times at the hospital. That's about it.
That's hardly the way George tells it, Mrs. McMillan.
Mrs. Comsack. This is George's wife. This is my husband, Stuart McMillan.
How do you do? When was the last time you saw your husband, Miss Comsack?
When he left to go fishing.
How do you get in touch with him?
Are you kidding? That's why he goes fishing, so I can't get in touch with him.
Where does he go?
Aren't you following any of this? He gets in his car and he goes till he finds a fishing hole he likes.
Do you always prefer separate vacations?
We prefer to do it all separately, Commissioner. That's the way we stay married. And, Mrs. McMillan, don't think you're the first one he ever asked to meet him, or even the first one he used the "you're in danger" bit with. But as far as I know, you are the first one he ever stood out.
When do you expect him back?
Which one of us are you asking? Because your wife is the last one who talked with him, Commissioner. Aren't you, Mrs. McMillan?
Well, tomorrow I'm going out to get my hair conditioned. It's a mess.
Tomorrow, you're not going to leave this house.
I'm not.
No.
Well, I can't live another day looking like this.
Live another day. Interesting you should choose that phrase.
Don't try and spook me.
Sally, if George Comsack was killed, that means the killer's still at large. And that means you're in great danger. Now, I don't want you to leave this house unless I'm with you. Promise me.
All right, anything you say.
Besides, your hair's in great condition.
Well, what about the rest of me?
You'll do in a pinch.
Who is that? It must be after midnight.
I don't know. Wait here, I'll go see.
I'll get it.
Don't do it.
That's okay.
Don't do that. Don't.
Maybe he had the wrong house.
Is that for me?
Yes. Thought I told you to stay in bed.
Well, it wasn't the same without you.
Sorry to disturb you, Mildred. You can go to bed now.
Let's see.
What is it?
Film of some kind.
Must be something more, isn't it?
Mildred, it's after midnight. What do you expect after midnight?
Well, I must say it's a come down from last year.
What are you talking about?
Well, a package arrives every year just before Halloween.
Addressed to you?
Yeah, only she never wants them, so she gives them to me. Only even I don't want that one.
I always thought they were publicity gimmicks.
Publicity gimmicks? They're always so poetic. I mean, until now. Very upset about that one.
What were the other presents?
I'll get them. You'll love them.
No, you don't have to bother, Mildred. Would you?
I'll model them for you.
You know, I don't even remember the other ones. I just remember they were tacky. Hey, where are you going?
To bed?
I want to see the film.
Don't you want to go to bed?
I want to see the film.
All right, we'll see the film.
Besides, Mildred's going to model those little things for us.
Oh, yeah.
Here. Guess who I saw at the hospital today?
Who?
Sam Burke.
Sam Burke?
He was doing some research on a malpractice case, I think.
Research.
I know what you're thinking, Mac, but you're not responsible.
He's one of the best legal minds in the country.
He was caught bribing a juror. You can't just let somebody get away with something like that.
Okay, everybody.
Mildred, what are you doing?
This came the first year.
When was that?
3 years ago. I put it on that very day, and I've worn it ever since. Off and on, of course. Off when I'm asleep and on when I'm awake.
Mildred, I didn't know those things meant that much to you.
Oh, it isn't the presents, Mrs. McMillan. It's what they seem to promise. Of course, I didn't expect anything the second year either, but then the day before Halloween, this arrived. Nice, huh?
Now I remember what came last year. Some kind of jewelry, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. This ring. Gorgeous, huh? Would you get the lights?
Let me see the ring.
Would you get the
Will
lights?
you let me see the ring?
You know, I can remember just seeing somebody wearing something like this, but I can't remember who.
Yeah, now that, right?
Maybe it's a preview of coming attractions. Flip it on.
Why would anyone send me this?
Apparently they're trying to tell you something.
What?
George Comstock was trying to tell you something, too, and look where it got him. What kind of a Halloween party is this, anyhow?
Looks like some sort of devil worship to me.
Satanism? Boy, it's the last time I accept an anonymous present.
Mac, you don't suppose there's a connection between this and George Comstock's warning, do you?
I hope not. But I'm not going to ignore the possibility.
You know, this is the first time all day that I felt frightened.
I wish I could say that.
Dr. Bleeker, please call extension 617. Dr. Bleeker, please call extension 617.
No, Sam? How are you? Hello, Dr. Bleeker. I'm looking for Sergeant Enright. You seen him?
As a matter of fact, yes. He's in our morgue.
Hi, Commissioner. I was just checking out the morgue.
Obviously.
Yes, sir. And as you can see, it's just a great, big, empty room, so to speak, with no regular attendant.
Which means Comstock's body could have been lying here with a sheet over it, and nobody would have known the difference.
Well, sir, I've checked them all out. In fact, that's what I was doing when you just came in.
I didn't mean it could still be here.
No, sir.
Still working on the case of the missing corpse, Sergeant?
This is the orderly who was in the corridor yesterday, sir. Irwin Blake, Commissioner McMillan.
Yes, Mr. Blake. Yesterday you reported that no one entered or left room 112 or the adjoining room at the time of the murder, correct?
That's right, sir. And that does include stretcher cases.
I think it's safe to assume that stretcher cases don't get around much on their own.
All right, all right. Hello? Hello?
All right, I know, but what did you do with Comstock's body? Dumped it in Willow Swamp. Deep, I hope. It's in a trunk. Weighted. Sank right to the bottom. Good. Good. Now start looking for another trunk. Doesn't have to be as large. Just big enough for that funny-looking maid of the McMillans.
Good idea. She's the only witness. We sure can't let her keep talking.
Mildred, did you get that? What? What's wrong?
Mrs. McMillan, you should have heard what they were saying about me.
You mean there was more than one person on the phone?
Yeah, two. They were talking to each other about me. I got in on it by accident, cross wires or something. But, Mrs. McMillan, they're coming to get me with a trunk. I mean, in my size, petite.
Boots, beer cans, water-soaked sneakers. Two of the boots even matched.
But no body.
No body.
They found a trunk, sir.
It's empty.
We didn't really expect to find a body, Mildred, but you have to check these things out. That phone call was rigged.
You mean they knew I was listening?
Yesterday, they tried to make it look as though you were seeing things, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, today, they tried to make it look as though you were hearing things.
That's what they call discrediting the witness.
Oh. Hey, wait a minute. How dare they?
It's done all the time.
I don't mean discrediting me. I mean calling me funny looking when they knew I could hear every word they were saying. Well, folks, how about a nightcap all round?
If you have another nightcap, Mildred, you won't have a head to wear it on.
Mildred, why don't you just go to bed? You've had a pretty rough day.
Yeah.
Okay, but not until I turn down your beds.
Don't bother, Mildred.
It's no bother, Commissioner, and I've never missed an evening. And so far, we've all gotten along perfectly. This is not the night to start changing things. The killer, the man who murdered George Comstock, he was peeking in the bedroom window.
Oh, upstairs, Mildred? The upstairs window?
Oh, no.
What's wrong, Mildred?
Oh, this is his two-story house.
I know that, Mildred.
I know you know that, but do you know how tall a peeping Tom has to be to look in a bedroom window on the second floor?
Well, it's obviously some sort of a trick, Mildred. Mac will explain it.
Did you get a good look at him, Commissioner?
No, I got away.
Did you see the ladder?
There wasn't any.
How could there not be a ladder when he was looking in the second-story window?
I don't know.
Oh, well, as long as you've explained it, I feel better. What's that you're holding?
Found it in the bushes, below our bedroom window. Mildred, you weren't hallucinating. Not at all. Though they almost had me convinced.
Had you convinced? They almost had me convinced.
That's a lovely medallion.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of what I was expecting last night. Matches this ring. This came last year. Hey, you folks look like you could use a drink. Nightcaps for everybody, okay?
Mildred, let me see that ring again. Mildred. If they do match, I'll have a double.
I think I'll have a double anyway.
Here, why don't we look at them both together?
Mildred, the ring.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mildred.
Commissioner, I got so interested in all of this, I worked straight through lunch. Now, as you can see, the markings on the ring and the medallion are identical. And they're both ancient Egyptian
Hieroglyphics.
Glyphics. Thank you, sir. Do you think it's a direct link to Satanism?
Well, worship of the devil does date back to the ancient Egyptians.
Do you really believe Linda Comsack's involved?
She was wearing a medallion like this. Mrs. Comsack.
Linda? Linda? Linda, do you hear me? Linda, you are in the city of London, and the year is 1728.
Why do they keep pushing me? Stop shoving. Let me breathe. What are they saying about me? Filthy swine. How dare they? It could be any one of them up here instead of me. I'm innocent. I found him lying dead. I did. I loved my husband. What do they care? A hanging's just another holiday, so long as it's somebody else's neck.
Oh, I see. She's on her way to be hanged for the death of her husband.
Apparently.
Listen to the piper. Listen to him. We're almost there, aren't we? Yes. There it is. There's the scaffold. Well, it's almost over now. Oh, God, help me. Help me, God, help me, please. What's this? A carrot. And a cabbage. Cabbages and carrots? Here, take these, my lovelies. They belong to you. You're the swine. Take your hands off me, you idiots. I can climb these steps alone. Now the noose. A pretty necklace. Such an innocent neck.
All right, bring her out.
As God is my witness.
Let her finish.
Door.
Linda, you're back home. You're back home, Linda. Linda?
You do this often?
Well, yes, her husband suggested it, and it's going quite well. I've taken it back through 6 incarnations.
Will she remember anything about what she's just been through?
Oh, no, but we have it on tape.
Well, I need to ask her some questions. Is she up to it?
Commissioner, what are you doing here? Isn't enough to interfere in my present life. Must you get involved in my past lives, too?
Professor?
Linda, you all right, dear?
I need to talk to you in my office this afternoon, Professor. Sergeant Enright will set the time.
Me? Why me?
Because you're the foremost authority on Satanism in this part of the world.
Well, I'm quite surprised. I mean, the police commissioner being interested in Satanism, it's quite an honor.
Yes. Until later.
That's amazing. Truly is amazing. Tell me, when did you first find that you were interested in the occult?
Why did your husband suggest you try retrogression?
He thought it might help. I'll be frank. I'm not an easy person to live with. He sensed I had other lives locked inside me.
Belief in reincarnation is one of the principal tenets of Satanism, isn't it? Are you and your husband members of a coven?
As I told you before, Commissioner, George and I never do anything together. What he does on his nights out is his business. As for me, I've never been a joiner.
Is your husband a member?
We never discussed it. But it does sound a little like old George.
You were wearing a medallion the other day. Do you know where it is now?
Oh, it must be around here somewhere.
Where did you get it, Mrs. Comsack?
George gave it to me. Why?
Because it's a symbol of a coven. And if you're telling me the truth, I don't think you'll ever see it again.
Oh, it's bound to be around here someplace. I'm careless.
But they aren't. And I'm sure they wouldn't want your husband to be found connected with them. Have you heard from him?
I told you he's on vacation. And if your wife hasn't heard from him, maybe Pam Crane's gotten a postcard.
Pam Crane? Another fishing companion?
That's right.
Do these fishing companions bother you?
Oh, you're adorable. You are. Do you actually think I'd kill George because he was having an affair? His 15th affair, or is it his 26th? If jealousy were my motive, why would I wait this long to kill him? Come on, Commissioner. Surely you've seen hundreds of murderers in your time. Look at me. Look into these laughing, loving eyes. Do you actually think I could murder someone? Especially my own husband.
It happened before. It could happen again. Play the tape back. If you have the time.
Mildred, that's not what I think it is.
Well, Halloween comes but once a year, Mrs. McMillan.
After all you've been through.
Yeah, I know. 2 peeks at a killer and a probable attempt at my own life at any moment. What's that? I may hate it, but I have to face it. In this neighborhood, I am Halloween. All year long.
Mildred, you just didn't want to let the kids down. You've got the biggest heart in the neighborhood.
And the best legs.
Yeah.
How about your diet?
What about it?
That's right, what about it? Listen, is the commissioner really going to solve this?
He's trying, Mildred. Just don't tell him about the ice cream.
Yeah, right, gotcha. Trying. Trying is not solving.
And like it or not, Mrs. Crane, you are deeply involved in it.
Frankly, I don't believe there was a murder. Some mix-up, perhaps.
Perhaps the mix-up was between you and George Comsack.
And what's that supposed to mean?
I was just talking with his wife.
Have you bothered asking her how she's been spending her time? At least George and I have kept our friendship behind closed doors. Nurse Comsack and Dr. Bleeker seem to have a penchant for carrying on in corridors. And to pursue the matter further, if George was murdered here, it obviously had to be arranged by someone with enough influence to make bodies disappear. An important doctor, perhaps?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner. But my argument in the corridor with Nurse Comsack was hardly a lover's quarrel. It had something to do with carelessness on her husband's part in filling a prescription. And frankly, I don't understand why any of this should concern you.
Dr. Bleeker, 2 days ago, a man telephoned my wife and told her she was in great danger. He then, at the very least, disappeared. We now have a witness who swears she saw him murdered in this very hospital. Now, when I find out why he was murdered, or at least why he's missing, then I'll know why my wife is in great danger, and that's why all of this concerns me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go to the devil.
As a matter of fact, belief in the supernatural has existed since the beginning of recorded history. Horned creatures have been found painted on the walls of some of our most primitive caves, which shows that the worship of the devil was man's first religion. And it's been like that from time to time, one form or another, right down to the day. You'd be surprised at the number of covens that exist right here in San Francisco.
Mac?
Oh, Professor asked my wife to join us. Professor Zagmeyer.
Blessed be. Blessed be.
This is my wife, Sally McMillan. This is Professor Zagmeyer.
How do you do?
Blessed be. Blessed be.
Professor, these are the gifts I was telling you about. Sally's received one each year for the past 3 years.
Always just before Halloween.
Is there any connection with Satanism?
Mrs. McMillan, please forgive me for staring at you the way I am, but you look so familiar to me.
Well, I don't think we've met before, have we, Professor?
Not in this life, perhaps.
Professor.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Yes, the bell, garter, ring. Now, the bell is used at the beginning of each ritual. That is used to scare away the unfriendly spirits. It's quite an antique. This bell must have been the scourge of 1,000 halls. The garter is the badge of high priestess. Each silver buckle stands for a coven that she rules. These 4 silver buckles means the goddess who wore this one was a queen of witches.
Well, what about the ring, Professor?
The ring is worn to protect one from one's enemies.
Professor, how well did you know George Comsack?
Oh, well, he was introduced to me because of his interest in Satanism, and after he'd known me for some time, he introduced his wife to me. Thought she might prove to be a good subject for my experiments in retrogression. And as you saw this morning, she proved to be quite excellent.
Was he a member of a coven?
Of my coven? No. Oh, now, don't be surprised that I worship what I study. Scholarship is the highest token of esteem. Yes, I belong to a coven. I'm a high priest.
What about Comsack's death? Is there any connection with Satanism?
You mean a ritual death? Oh, no.
Why not?
Well, we Satanists today don't perform that ritual. And even if it were performed, it wouldn't happen in a hospital.
But what if somebody did break the law of a coven?
We Satanists don't put out contracts on each other like our Christian counterparts. However, non-believers have been known to use Satanism as a cover-up for their motives for murder.
You mean like a murder plan to look as if it happened in the middle of a robbery?
Exactly.
How often does your coven meet, Professor?
As a matter of fact, there's going to be one tonight. Mrs. McMillan, would you and your husband honor me by attending? Then you could see that Satanism is a form of worship, nothing more. Mrs. McMillan, please?
Well, we'd be delighted, Professor. Should prove to be an interesting evening.
Interesting? I hope it'll prove to be unforgettable.
It's all a put-on, right?
It is not a put-on.
Well, it is not a camera.
According to Simpson, it is a camera.
Jeez. It is a camera.
How about a profile? 4 for a quarter, you know.
I just hope they don't spot it.
They won't. I was a smuggler in my last life.
Oh, I wonder what I was in my last life.
Well, whatever you were, I'm sure I was just as crazy about you as I am now.
How did you know that was going to be my next question?
Because I'm a psychic.
Well, that's good. I think it'll come in handy tonight. You don't think we're walking into a trap, do you, Mac?
We've been in a trap ever since Comsack's death. I hope we learn something tonight to help get us out of it.
So do I.
Still wearing that ring.
I know. I just feel safer with it on.
You're frightened.
Well, I'm frightened of things I can't understand.
Blessed be.
be quite a come down.
By the flame that's burning bright, O horned one, we call thy name into the night, O ancient one. Come to where the round of dance is trod, horn and hoof of goat-foot God. Queen of heaven, queen of hell, send your aid unto the spell. Horned hunter of the night, work my will by magic right.
I really don't want to stay for the rest of this.
Welcome to our great Sabbat.
Sorry we can't stay any longer, Professor Zagmeyer. We simply must get ready for Halloween. It's a big holiday at our house. Popcorn balls, candied apples, the works. Yeah, good night.
You know, Mac, they were saying exactly the same thing that Zagmeyer said when he met me today.
Yeah, I noticed. Blessed be, blessed
Now,
be.
why would they say that?
I don't know. I think it every time I see you.
You never say it.
I just said it.
What about those masks? Why would they wear those?
Same reason anybody wears a mask, hide their identity. That could be it.
What?
Mildred said the murderer was some kind of a monster.
Of course he was wearing a
And
mask.
later he put it on a pole and put it up by our second-story
That's
window.
how he got away so fast.
Wonder where they get those masks.
I don't know.
Wonder where they got that ghost head.
Oh. Sam Burke has a goat's head just like that in his den. He showed it to my mother and me once.
And the case he was trying when he was disbarred.
That's right. It was that man with a weird
Yeah,
name. He was being accused of murder. What was his name?
Garu, Stefan Garu.
That's right.
And he was a Satanist. Hello?
Sam? Sam?
Happy Halloween, Fred.
A little early, Sam. And where did you get that mask?
Just calm down, Mac. This is my house. I have the right to celebrate the holiday any way I choose.
Well, why did you choose that mask, Sam?
Why not? Remind you of somebody you know?
You know as well as we do that's a mask that Comstock's killer wore.
Yeah, but I had to think fast. At least give me credit for that. I didn't even know you were going to drop by until I saw you get out of the car. Of course, I had to have something special to mark the occasion. Would you like some wine?
Yes, please.
It's been a long time since the two of you have come calling. See if my memory serves me. The last time the two of you were here for dinner, I was a prominent lawyer, complete with wife. Beautiful wife. You remember Stella, don't you? I remember Stella.
I saw Stella the other day, Sam. She's fine.
And happy.
She still loves you a lot.
Well, so much for the past.
We're not here to talk about the past, Sam.
Well then, Mac, I guess that just leaves us at a standstill, since I never even think about the future.
I'd like to take a look at your den. Do you mind?
Of course not. I don't have any secrets from you. You, let them all out to the public, remember?
When'd you get into all this?
When you got me out of the legal profession. Through my last client, as a matter of fact. This was his house.
It looks like it came straight from the Middle Ages.
It almost did. It's an authentic copy, stone for stone, of a shrine in Poland. Yes, Stefan Garu was quite a man. Didn't even blame me for losing the case. In fact, he gave me his incantation to Lucifer. Satan, We defy your majestic evil.
Sam, what do you know about Comstock's connection with Satanism?
I'm afraid I'm just an amateur at all this, Mac. Oh, I find it amusing, but I never take it seriously.
What about your friend Garou? Does he take it seriously?
Yes, quite. In fact, I regret he's not here tonight. But I can show you where you can find him.
This is a cemetery.
Yes, and do have a good interview. Satan! Satan! Burn me in damnation for my sin. It's all fake, you know that, don't you?
To notice how my little camera really came through for you, Commissioner. Just look at those shadows. Sharp. Sharp if I do say so, and I do say so.
Yes, you do. Now, what about the other blow-ups?
You have only to ask. Oh, any special reason for this one?
Oh, well, that's just a little cheesecake.
Simpson, is this the only blow-up you made from all that film sent to Mrs. McMillan?
I chose the best shot. Saves time, saves money. In fact, some people call me One-Shot Simpson.
Mac, this is definitely not the place we were last night.
And the man that sent you the film clip obviously belongs to a different coven.
But they're all wearing the same masks. You couldn't identify anybody in this picture or the other picture. Except for this man. Look, the one wearing the ring.
What about him?
Well, that could be George Comstock. He had a ring just like that.
Then his warning must have something to do with this coven.
Oh. I wish this weren't Halloween. Frightened enough without all those ghosts and goblins running around all over everywhere.
That's why I want you with me. I don't want you home alone.
Well, I wouldn't be alone. Mildred is there.
I repeat my statement. One shot?
Yes, sir.
I want you to make a blow-up of every frame out of that film clip.
Right.
Enright, we've got to find this coven.
Yes, sir. Especially since Halloween is the big night on a devil worshipper's calendar.
And it ends at midnight.
Yes, Halloween, Eve of All Souls Day. It's a very important occasion to all those who refuse to accept the finality of death. And that's all I can tell you, Commissioner. Our secrets are not revealed to outsiders.
Well, at least tell us the meaning of that greeting that I keep getting.
Greeting?
You know the greeting, the one that you gave me when you first met me. Blessed be, blessed be.
I thought I knew you. I was startled.
Your whole group said it last night. Were they all startled?
Yes, they felt an alien presence, outsiders.
Professor, you're lying.
I am terribly sorry, Commissioner, but there's nothing more to tell you.
You mean that's all you will tell us?
What are you afraid of, Professor? Who killed George Comstock?
I do not know, Commissioner. But we do demand our right to worship majestic Satan. And by the way, we do not kill. We do not kill!
McMillan.
Commissioner, I found Burke's secretary at home, but she says he didn't come to the office today, and she doesn't know where he can be reached.
Well, keep looking till you find him. I want to talk to him tonight.
Yes, sir. I'll put out an APB on him.
Right.
Ooh, I don't know why I get the feeling there's more ghosts out this year than last year.
We'll be home soon.
You have a real crazy living there.
pretty kitten. Would you like to come and live with me, my pretty?
No.
Oh, well, then I think I'll choose a nice, juicy goblin.
Okay, Mildred, cut the corn and bring out the donuts, all right?
Boy, you guys are real spoil sports, aren't you? Here. All right, some fun, those kids.
Hello? Sally? Hello? Yes, Dr. Bleeker. Oh, well, that's good news. Let me speak to my wife, will you please?
I'm sorry she's already left. Yes, by taxi. Well, your housekeeper's doing so well, I didn't think there was any need for her to stay.
Well, thanks for calling, Doctor.
Surely.
She hasn't even moved, Doctor.
Oh, she suffered a mild concussion. She needs some rest. She'll be fine by tomorrow. Why don't you let me drive you home now?
Oh, no, I can't leave.
Oh, we'll take good care of her, don't worry.
I don't want to leave her alone. Please let me stay, Doctor.
Now, look. You better get some rest, too. You've been under a very severe strain. Here, I give you a couple of pills.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Oh, nothing heavy, just something to calm you down.
But I don't take sedatives.
Oh, I wouldn't call these sedatives. More like a glass of warm milk. Come on now. Doctor knows best.
All right.
I'm worried about Mildred, sir. I hope it's not serious.
Dr. Bleeker says she just has a mild concussion, so she's gonna be all right. Sally will have a full report. She should be here by now. It's been over 45 minutes. You know, it's not like Sally to leave Mildred like that.
Don't worry about Mrs. McMillan, sir. She knows exactly what she's doing. Hey! In all this excitement, I almost forgot why I came here.
What?
I located Comsack's body.
Where?
In a funeral parlor.
How'd you find that out?
Well, you see, the hospital morgue had 4 bodies registered that day, but they shipped out 5. So I just kept on checking until I located the extra one, complete with fake papers.
This is Commissioner McMillan. I want you to check all the cab companies and see if Mrs. McMillan left Century Hospital within the last 45 minutes.
Mrs. Comsack made a positive identification, sir.
Good work, Sergeant. I'll wait.
Well, it's all in the line of duty, sir. And we finally located Burke. He'll be at home tonight if you want to talk to him.
Thank you. I said I'll wait.
I'm sorry about my stomach, sir, but it's been rumbling like this ever since I started Dr. Bleeker's diet.
You should eat more. Have you had your dinner?
You bet. I wouldn't dare miss a meal on this diet. You'd die. Actually, tonight's was pretty good. A giant sunflower seed salad.
Ugh.
Well, that's what the pharaohs used to eat, you know.
No wonder King Tut died when he's 18. You know, if there's anything I hate is being held on hold.
Yes, sir. You know, Dr. Bleeker goes back centuries for all of his recipes. You know so much about it, you almost think he lived in those times.
Well, maybe he did. Or thinks he did. Century Hospital? This is Commissioner McMillan. I'd like to speak to my wife, please. Oh, she's already left. Then let me speak to Dr. Bleeker. Oh, he has.
nice, Doctor. So nice of you to drive me home.
It's right on my way, Sally.
It's so sweet. Just like warm milk.
Leaker? Remind you of anybody you know?
I could swear it was Mrs. McMillan.
Serena? 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 Serena, I have tried to make you realize who you are. For 3 years. But you kept ignoring my little gifts. You may have another name in this incarnation, but you'll always be the goddess Serena.
Sally. Where? Where does their coven meet?
Well, Commissioner, people usually say hello
Come off it, Sam. Where is she?
How do I know, huh? What do you think, this is a crystal
They're
ball?
going to kill her, you know that?
As a matter of fact, I don't. Do you want a drink?
No, I want an answer.
That's too bad, because I need a drink.
Look, listen to me. They're going to kill Sally. You know that, you know where, and you're going to tell me.
Well, the great attorney McMillan on the attack. How do you know so much? Oh, I see. You think I'm drunk because I got a bad conscience, because maybe I should have told you what was going to happen tonight, right?
Right.
Wrong, baby. I'm celebrating the pain that's twisting around in that stomach of yours. The pain that's going to make you see how I felt when my world fell apart.
And you blame me?
You could have been
I could have what? Shoved it under a rug? Told the judge you never bribed a juror? All right. Shoot. But at least have the guts to kill me, not Sally. And after you've killed me, have the decency to tell him where they've taken her.
Damn, Mac. You still present the best brief in town.
Sam, please.
All right. I know why, but I don't know where.
The goddess Serena? 14th century?
They believe the body of Serena has been invaded by an alien spirit who wants to take over the cult. The high priest feels he must kill her at midnight. It's the only way the cult can survive.
But you don't know where? Well, then how do you know all this?
I move in the circles of hell. They're the only ones left open to me.
Is this their shrine?
The one they used in the 14th century, right?
But Stefan Garou had it copied stone for stone, didn't he? This shrine's right here in San Francisco.
I'd hoped the ringing of the bell would awaken you. The garter was, of course, to remind you of your deity.
Where are we going? Where are you taking me?
To your shrine. Your followers are waiting.
What do they want?
To return you to the dead, where you belong, and leave us our cult.
You had Mildred hurt, so that I'd have to come to the hospital tonight.
The survival of the cult depends on its high priest, my dear.
It's 7 minutes, Sergeant. 7 minutes until midnight.
Well, we'll make it, sir.
Scourge the hall. Let our enemies depart. Banish all alien spirits from our midst. We offer unto you, O Horned One, our beloved, sleeping goddess Serena.
All right, get him out of here.
Oh, hi there. Oh.
What
took you so long?
I didn't know I was looking for a goddess. I was just looking for my wife.
Well, believe me, that's all you've got. Like my hair?
Thought I told you to stay in the house.
How can I enjoy it?
Mildred, you didn't miss anything. It was just an everyday, ordinary Halloween. Now, get some rest and we'll see you tomorrow.
Are you kidding? I'm not gonna get a wink of sleep here. And I'm certainly not gonna take any of their sedatives. What I need is a good belt of you-know-what.
What you need is a good rest. That's what you've been telling me for months. This is your chance. Now enjoy, would you? Remember, Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and you know what that does to you.
Now listen, how can I enjoy it? I'm not even gonna get to turn down your bed. And I've never missed a night, you know.
Listen, Mildred, I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into it anyway. Mac. Now, would you just go to sleep? Now, goodbye.
I've never missed a night. I won't sleep awake.
Good night, Mildred.
Tomorrow, I am gonna get my hair done.
As long as you don't come out looking like the sleeping goddess Serena. Sleeping goddess Serena. I rather like the sound of that. Except, how does a mere mortal make love to a goddess?
Well, as mortals go, you'll do.
I feel I'm closer to finding him than at any other time. His disguise is clever. Very clever. But somehow, in the back of my mind, the clues are coming together. I'll find him. I'm sure of it.
Yes.
Call for you on 613, Commissioner.
Thank you. Hello?
We tried red, yellow, and green, buddy. Don't we have any colors you like?
Sorry, Commissioner. Don't apologize, officer. I deserved it.
All day, all night, Marianne, down by the seaside, sifting sand. Even little children love Marianne, down by the seashore, sifting sand.
Hi. I found the sheet music on the organ. I thought you wanted me to learn it, and I aimed it, please. You didn't put the sheet music on the organ.
No, I didn't. And I've been hearing this song all day. Accordionists, ice cream vendors. Now I come home and find it on the organ.
What is it? Some sort of a message? A warning? Why are you laughing?
Marion!
Who's she?
George Marion. I trained with him in intelligence. We served overseas together. You get it? Marion, Marianne.
Oh,
Da,
I get it.
da, da, down by the seaside, sifting sand. Is there a Sands Hotel by the seaside anywhere?
The Sands Inn in North Beach. How quickly one forgets.
Oh, yeah, that $5 extra for the waterbed.
Mr. Romance strikes again. Mac, why doesn't George Marion just call you on the telephone when he comes into town?
It's not his style. Any game, prank, gimmick, that's what got him into intelligence in the first place. If it was your birthday, he couldn't just say happy birthday. No, he had to send you to a Chinese restaurant. You got your message in a fortune cookie. George Marion, please. You don't?
Try Smith. They stay there all the time.
This is Commissioner McMillan. Do you have a message for me? All right, thank you. He's registered as Maroney. That's an anagram of Marion. The message was, be there when the band starts playing. I want to be there when the band starts playing.
Better be ready at half-past 8. All right, now the one on the left is George Marion. Tell me about the others.
Okay. Next to him is Mark Erickson. He was our unit commander. Still in the organization. And this dashing gentleman is young Stuart McMillan, who later became a distinguished public servant. The man with his hand on my shoulder is Miles Eisner, killed on a mission.
Oh, that's terrible. I bet you were all very close, weren't
Yep, we were. Time to go.
you? You know, I'm looking forward to meeting George Marion.
Good.
You can tell me about that woman in the photograph.
Woman.
You know, the one in the center with your arm around her.
Oh, come on, Sally. You know how those things are.
Yes, I was hoping maybe not in this case.
That woman is Elena Standish. She was a real professional.
Professional what?
Spy, of course.
Maybe you've forgotten the secret knock.
No. George? Mac?
Is he Mac?
Call headquarters.
Nobody saw or heard anything, sir. Everything was in its proper place, except the blind from the window. It was pulled out of the window, and, oh yes, there was a pen found on the floor near the night table.
Dry.
How'd you know?
You don't throw a pen on the floor if it works. What was the cause of death? Poison?
Yes, sir. The medical examiner thinks it was cyanide.
Uh-huh.
You may have noticed the bitter almond smell.
Yeah.
The time of death was about 7:30, around an hour and a half before you got here. And, he thinks, he's going to run some tests. Also tests on some allergy capsules that were found on the floor nearby. And there was some sort of funny stuff on his shoes, like he'd been walking in sawdust. They'll run tests on that, too, of course.
Good. As soon as you can.
Yes, sir.
Mac, the man on the balcony, the one with the mustache.
Go ahead and say it. You mean the one who clobbered me?
If George Marion was dead 1 hour before we got there, then why would the man be on the balcony? A killer just doesn't hang around like that.
He might. On the other hand, who said he was the killer?
Oh, no, you're not back already.
Mildred, where are you going?
Oh, I want you to find my message and figure it out for yourself.
What message? Where?
Look in the organ.
On the organ.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dry bones.
Got it?
No.
Them bones, them dry bones, them bones, them dry bones. Got it now?
No.
I get it. Mildred's gonna try again, right?
Right.
Try what again?
I'm going on the wagon, Commissioner. That's why I'm going to my sister's house. You always say I'm so huffy when I try and dry out around here.
Dry bones. Dry bones. I get it.
Oh, wonderful. Did anybody ever tell you you're kind of slow at deciphering messages?
I'll work on it. Meanwhile, good luck. I hope you make it all the way this time.
All the way is the only way I go, Commissioner.
May I help you with your luggage?
Not for a moment. Thank you so much.
Beat it.
Hello? Hi, Sergeant. Yeah, just a second. He's here. Sergeant Enright.
Yeah.
Commissioner, it's Enright. We found a false bottom on the dead man's valise. I think you'd better come over here and have a look at it.
I'll be right there.
Right.
I feel I'm closer to finding him than at any other time. His disguise is clever. Very clever. But somehow, in the back of my mind, the clues are coming together. I'll find him. I'm sure of it.
I don't get it, sir. Find who?
I don't know.
Well, it's strange that he didn't name the man, isn't it?
Before or after he was poisoned?
Well, when he made the report. I wasn't even thinking about after.
When he made the report, he assumed his superior would know who he was talking about. But after he was poisoned, why didn't he name the man?
Well, look. The briefcase containing the message was locked in the closet. Now, he knew that he didn't have time to unlock the closet, take out the briefcase.
So he went for a pen, which was closest.
Yeah, but that pen was dry.
Right. But he died in a chair at that end of the room, and the closet was at that end of the room.
Well, what difference does that make?
Well, if he went for a chair instead of a closet, he was trying to tell me something.
How come you're not talking, Mac? You're always talking and brushing my teeth. Thinking, huh? What are you thinking about?
Huh? Oh. Suppose when George Marion grabbed that blind, he was sending me a message. Look, he's alone. He feels the cyanide, knows he's been poisoned, knows I'm on my way.
Well, he could write it down.
Maybe he did. Maybe he grabbed a pen, didn't work. Then with his dying breath, he pulls down that vine.
But what does that mean, a Venetian blind? Man, could a blind man have done it? You said that accordionist was blind.
Of course. A Venetian blind.
A Venetian blind?
Venice.
Venice, Italy. Venice, California.
No. A man's name. Marion was naming his murderer. Venice. Venice.
It's Venice!
Jump, Miles!
Stay on, Mac! Venice. We've been betrayed. Sold to the highest bidder by Venice. Venice.
He couldn't have. He wouldn't have.
Couldn't be anyone else. You saw him at the staging area. You saw him, Lena. I can't believe it.
I won't believe it.
Venice.
It's all right, Mac. Well, it's not really all right. I mean, you were shouting Elena.
I gotta find her.
It must have been some dream.
I was dreaming about a man named Miles Eisner. He was killed, betrayed by Venice. So were so many others. Elena Standish had worked with him. She's the only one who could identify him. Don't you see? Venice isn't dead. Not if he killed George Marion. Marion found him. So Venice killed George Marion. And Elena isn't safe as long as Venice is alive. She's in real danger.
Would you mind calling her Standish?
She's got to be warned. If I can find her.
No, there is no Elena Standish. There never has been an Elena Standish in intelligence.
But she does exist.
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Well, when will the chief of personnel be in?
He'll be in about an hour.
You told me that an hour ago.
Well, he'll be here in an hour.
All right. When he comes in, will you have him call me, please? Thank you, Colonel. And if you ever come to San Francisco, watch out where you park your car.
I'm sorry, sir. Nothing. I've checked with every known intelligence unit, and according to them, former agent Elena Standish never even existed.
Well, we'll just have to find her ourselves. She's beautiful, brunette, and foreign-born.
That's not much to go on. Oh, I've had blow-ups made of that old picture of her, but...
Good. I'll give you some more. She loves mountains, she loves big dogs, she loves to paint, and I suspect she lives alone. Check with the police in all mountainous areas, places like Boulder, Colorado Springs, places like that, Aspen. Find out if anybody fitting that general description moved in the last few years.
When?
Tomorrow.
But, sir...
Late today would be better. What have you found out about the poison?
Well, it was cyanide, all right. Sir, he was an intelligence agent. Don't they sometimes...
Rarely. And only behind enemy lines. Not on a Wednesday in a motel in North Beach.
Well, so far, the allergy capsules are clean, sir.
Well, they could all be clean. Except one, if he took one, couldn't they?
But how would the killer know which pill he...
Well, as long as it's question time, where was Marion yesterday? How did he spend his time in San Francisco? And where did he come from?
Sir, we're working on it.
And also, are we sure that stuff on his shoes was sawdust?
Well, sir...
I know. We're working on it.
Hello? Hi, Sally.
Oh, hi, Mildred. How are you
I'm fine. But there's something about this time of day, and I just got to missing the two of you.
Oh, that's really sweet. We miss you, too.
Yeah, I could just see the two of you sitting there having a little drinky before dinner.
Well, actually, we were just about to have dinner.
At home? Just the two of you? What'd you fix?
No, Mac's taking me out to dinner. I've got to hurry, Mildred, because he wants me to meet him at the Sands Inn first.
The Sands Inn? Why don't you just go upstairs? It's a lot closer, and you can use your real names up there.
Thank you, Mildred. Keep in touch.
It is just like I told that other fellow, the sergeant. He registered as Gregory Maroney. Paid his rent every day in advance. No phone calls, no visitors. That we know of, but we don't check much.
I know. It's part of the casual charm of this place. Did he have any identification as Maroney?
I never checked. Well, he said he was from out of town.
And that settled it?
That and paying cash up front.
Thank you. You've been very frank.
Stewie? Hey, Stewie.
I really don't think we've met.
What? Oh, I get it. Don't worry. If you got lucky, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm Rita.
I'm Sally.
My wife.
Gee, and I was always your sister. Well, hon, whatever you are, take good care of him. They don't make 'em like Stewie no more.
That's good to hear. Do I detect a note of puzzlement? Stewie, old pal?
I really don't think we've met. Hey! My wallet. Wait for me in the car.
Your table's waiting, Commissioner. This way, sir.
Sit down, Mac. Rita, we'll both have coffee.
Mark Erickson. Mark Erickson. Well, you could have just telephoned. You didn't have to send an agent to lift my wallet.
Discretion. Better part of valor, as you would call. Mac, I'm speaking for the entire intelligence community. Stop stirring up flack about Elena Standish.
She's got to be warned. She's been out of it for years. Venice will find her. Venice is dead. You know better than that. Venice killed George Marion.
Who told you that?
George Marion.
Before he died?
No, after.
You gonna tell me how he did that? No, you're not. All right, Venice is alive. Marion told me 2 months ago.
Well, how?
Now, don't ask me any questions. We'll operate strictly on a need-to-know basis. Marion was on Middle East assignment. He took a side trip to Wadi Al-Faz, a little village just off the Gulf, near Aden. Mean anything to you?
Isn't that where Venice is supposed to be buried?
Marion discovered the grave was a clever fake. He decided that Venice was alive and in the United States. And he wanted him for his very own. He didn't like people who killed his friends.
Neither do I.
So Marion went on detached service to find Venice.
And he found it.
That's it, Mac. Stay out of it.
That's not quite it. Elena Standish.
A, she can take care of herself. B, we take care of her anyway.
Elena doesn't know.
C, she does know. Marion went to her as soon as I gave him his hunting license. Where else could he go for leads?
That's my point exactly. That's where Venice will go next.
We'll handle Venice. You don't think we can do it, do you?
You're not going to get the chance. You're forgetting something. I'm police commissioner of San Francisco. Apart from the fact that George Marion was one of my closest friends, I cannot let anyone handle a murder that took place in San Francisco.
You don't have any choice.
I'm going to give you one, though. Either you give me Elena's address, or you go before a grand jury and tell them everything you know about the death of George Marion.
Well, I can't do that, can I? Blow the cover on the whole operation.
The plane ride to New Mexico is not so bad. It's the car ride after that's tough on the kidneys.
Mac, are you really sure that this is a road?
It says so on the map.
What does the map say now?
The map says here's a creek. We'll have to walk from here. Ha. You okay?
Uh-huh. I was a Girl Scout, you know.
You were.
Do you suppose she's gonna believe that we just happened to drop by? Oh. Just a nice walk in the country.
You could have stayed home.
Oh, sure was. You come to visit Matahari.
It's a business call.
Oh, let's just say my mother didn't raise any foolish children. Besides, you asked me to come with you, remember?
Of course I remember. You said, do you think I should go with you to see Elena Standish? And I said, do you want to go with me to see Elena Standish? And you said...
I'd love to go with you. How sweet of you to ask.
You're right. Your mother didn't raise any foolish children.
Suddenly, I'm not so sure.
Don't move. Here, boy. Here. You gotta be trained in some language. Try your French.
Viens ici, mes petits chiens. Nous sommes des amis.
How's your Italian? Don't move a muscle. If they go for me, make a dash for the house.
Help! Somebody, please help! Is anybody in there? Please!
Spot! Fido! Fanta! Santile! Suiza! Suiza!
Stuart McMillan. Well, I live very simply, but I have everything I need. I have the mountains, time to paint, plenty of solitude. And I have my dogs. They're killers, of course. Trained to Chinese. With names like Spot and Fido, most people try English.
Elena, I'm afraid this is not entirely a social call.
I know that. Otherwise, Mark Erickson would never have told you where to find me.
It's about George Marion. He's dead.
Was it Venice?
Murdered.
Then it was Venice. So many missions betrayed. So many good men
and now Marion. What do you want of me?
What was your conversation with George Marion?
Well, he showed up here one morning and we talked late into the night. Just knowing that Venice was alive seemed to energize him, gave him a mission in life. But he wanted everything I could remember about Venice. Well, I told it all before, Mac. I mean, you know that.
There must have been something.
He wanted a way to identify him. How does one identify a master of disguise who is medium weight, medium height, medium coloring, and with no distinguishing scars, whom one hasn't seen for several years? Russian, British, Arab, young, old, rich, poor. He played all the parts. So, I did these for Marion, ways I had seen Venice, as well as I could remember. This was how he looked when the power station was blown in Nicosia. He escaped to England like this in 1962. But what's the use? He never wore the same disguise twice.
All right, maybe it wasn't the way he looked, but perhaps it was the way he walked, what he ate, something in his lifestyle, where he'd be. You know, you put him on some track.
Lifestyle. It would have to be that. I told George about the last time Venice and I were together. It was in the Café Ben in Mersa Matruh, a place that was reasonably safe for both of us. He'd called me there to say goodbye. For the last time, he said. He was quitting, getting out while he still could. He seemed in good spirits, and it was the first time I'd ever heard him talk about his childhood. His parents were performers in a traveling circus in Middle Europe, like a carnival in America, I suppose. And by the time he was 15, he could walk wires, he could serve as a catcher for a trampoline act, he could juggle, and he still had a soft spot in his heart for that life. So it struck me that if you wanted to disappear, the traveling show where no one asks your name and everyone minds his business. 2 months later, we heard he was dead, buried at Wadi El Fas.
Mac, George Marion's shoes.
Yes, they had sawdust on them. It suggests that he visited a carnival.
That he'd seen Venice.
But without knowing it. He couldn't recognize Venice, but Venice did recognize George Marion.
And the irony is that Venice admired Marion's work. He often spoke of how brilliant he was. Of course, he recognized you as being the best.
Let's assume for the moment that we've narrowed Venice down to San Francisco. Now, what we need is positive identification. I don't suppose I could ask you to...
Go ahead, ask me.
All right. Would you?
No.
Huh.
I'm out of it now, Mac. I'm an ex-spy. And you know what they say about ex-spies and ex-lion tamers. They never come out of retirement.
Think about it, Elena.
I have thought about it, Mac. And you see, you are still emotionally involved. I'm not. Anymore.
You should be. Because if we don't get Venice, he's bound to get you. Goodbye, Elena.
Goodbye, Mac.
Well, what do you think?
I think your Elena was in love with Venice.
She's not my Elena. And what makes you think that?
Just a feeling I get.
Mm-hmm.
The way she said his name. So personal. You know the last time they met when he told her he was going to quit and disappear?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just his way of telling her that their affair was over. Part of her wants to help find him. Part of her wants to help him hide, Mac.
Prussic acid or a hydrocyanic acid, both terms being interchangeable, and I might add deadly, regardless which word you use. Now, this poison may be easily obtained because it, detective fiction to the contrary, is almost impossible to administer.
Are you saying that Marion...
Because of the pronounced odor and taste of almonds, bitter almonds, makes it easily detectable, comes often to the attention of the police as a result of suicides. Now, on the other hand, arsenic or arsenate of lead may be easily administered
Sykes.
only because of...
Sykes!
Sir.
Yes or no? Was Marion poisoned?
Yes, but...
Prussic acid?
Yes, but... If your friend was murdered, sir, now how? How was this poison administered?
It had to be the allergy capsules.
We tested 47 so far. They all had what they were supposed to have in them.
What about the sawdust?
The substance on the deceased shoes?
Yes. It was sawdust.
The commissioner doesn't miss a trick. Very good. But this was not ordinary sawdust, no. It was treated with flame retardant.
Of course. You can't use ordinary sawdust on the floor of a public place.
Exactly. And so treated, you would find it in butcher shops and fish or poultry market, wineries, cheap restaurants.
But this came from a carnival.
Carnival. Commissioner, that's a very good thing. Carnival, I never thought.
You know the name of it, don't you?
Sure do. Carnivals need permits. So I checked Fairfax, San Francisco, and Marin counties. There's only one. It's called the Bel Habib Carnival, and it's been playing about 3 months out at Crescent Beach.
How about a picture of yourself? Smile. That's it. Terrific. Gentlemen. Smile. Good. If you present this card inside the main tent, you can have a free picture of yourself.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Free? I don't see how they do it.
Well, $1.50 a piece to get in the main tent. That's $3 for a snapshot of you and me. I'll take this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? May I direct your attention to the uppermost part of the midway? See Kovacs, the human fly, defy the laws of gravity with his daring acrobatic stunts. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Kovacs, the human fly. One of the world's renowned aerobatic artists. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is.
Come on, step right up. 3 shots, half $1. 3 shots for a half. Come on, step right up. Lady, over here, come on.
Excuse me. You ever seen this man?
3 shots for a half. I only talk to paying customers.
Oh. I should warn you, I'm a pretty good shot.
Terrific.
I'm sorry, Commissioner. That's all I know.
Thank you.
Commissioner McMillan? Commissioner McMillan?
Yes?
I thought so. I recognize you by the picture my daughter Ruth took. I'm Clemente Habib, impresario of this enterprise. You see, in this business, we have to expect visits from the police, and so one trains oneself to recognize them. What can I do for you?
Thank you, but even the commissioner of police can spend an afternoon at a carnival without having an official reason.
Oh, please forgive me. Then the gentleman in the picture with you is not a plainclothesman. Come with me, please.
He was, a couple of days back.
You talk to him? Okay.
I ask no questions of those who work for me. I demand only that they do not drink on the job and that they stay out of trouble. I harbor no criminals. I harbor no one.
He talked to me. Yeah, he was a good shot, too.
Well, my apologies. And you see, I assumed that your visit was connected with that of the other man.
Other man?
Yeah, but since it is not...
I didn't say that. I am interested in how you knew somebody might be hiding here.
Well, now you know.
The other man?
Yes, his name was what? George Marion.
George Marion's dead. Murdered, which I'm investigating. I'd like your cooperation.
Sure.
When was he here?
Several days ago.
He was here twice.
Did you take his picture?
Yes, I probably still have it. Should I get it?
Later. What did he want?
Information, you know. The people with the show, how long they've been here, where they worked before. I'm afraid I wasn't very helpful, you see. Our personnel department is, well, rather informal.
Meaning you hire off the street?
Exactly. I gave him a list of the people, indicated those who had been with us many years. I think he talked with everyone. Ruth here, she accompanied him on most of the interviews.
Yes, he seemed most interested in the people that joined us recently, and he took notes. I'm sure he checked.
Did he take any pills?
Wait, he did when he was interviewing Aldo.
Who is Aldo?
The knife thrower.
I'd like to talk to him.
I'm sure that could be arranged, considering that he's been listening to every word we've said to each other. Isn't that right, Aldo?
Ah, did you call me Maestro?
Yes, Commissioner McMillan would like to ask you a few questions.
Please, anything.
When George Marion questioned you the other day, did he take any pills?
2. It was awful. All of a sudden, he starts wheezing and sneezing. I thought he was going to die on the spot. Allergic to fur, he tells me, and here I am breaking in my new act. Aldo the Aborigine. Some guys got no luck, Commissioner.
Did the pills help?
Yeah, come to think of it, I think they did. Of course, he was still wheezing when he left, but he was alive.
Thank you very much.
Anytime, Commissioner.
Step right this way, ladies and gentlemen. See the wonders of the universe. See Bertha, the bearded lady. Marvin the Jew, the man with 2 noses. See the human fly defy the laws of gravity with his spectacular acrobatic feats. See Sammy Lee, the seal boy. Neither man nor beast. He walks, he talks, he crawls on his belly like a reptile. Hurry, hurry, hurry! See Gilbert the Great astound you with amazing defeats of Ledger Devane. See Mongo, the strange creature with the long dangling arms. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Yes, the man on the balcony after Marion got killed.
Well, I'll put out a bulletin on it.
Brawny, bald man with a mustache. We can hold our line up in Candlestick Park. We need a picture.
Yes, sir. Hey, how about Habib's daughter?
Yes, odds are she has a photo, Mr. Mustache.
Yes, sir. Now, listen, there are 2 things.
Yeah.
You should talk to a Father Reagan at St. Barnaby's Church. It's right across the street from the main entrance. It seems that he's sort of the unofficial chaplain for this outfit.
And the other thing?
Can I lock this in the trunk of your car?
I'll help any way I can. But as to the background of the people in the carnival, I've only been here 3 months myself. I was abroad before that, a series of missions, Far East mostly. But I did talk to your friend, Mr. Marion. He struck me as an unhappy man, driven, obsessed. He was killed, you say?
Yes, 3 days ago.
Oh, yes, the man in the hotel. I read about it, but I didn't think... When did he die?
Early evening, about 7:30.
7:30, I may have been the last person he talked to. It was nearly 7 when he left here. I suppose that puts me down as what's the term? A possible?
What did you talk about?
Well, he told me everything that you've told me about his search for the missing man, and he gave me some biographical detail on some of the people in the carnival, asked if I could confirm it.
Did you?
Well, as far as I knew, it was accurate.
Did he take any pills while he was with you?
Oh, my, yes. He was wheezing, eyes running. He didn't have to tell me he was allergic. And he was poisoned. Could it have been the pills?
We're looking for a special needle in an untidy haystack. We need somebody who's seen Venice.
You need me because I've seen him. I know that, Mac, but...
I'd arrange it so you'd be protected. He wouldn't have to see you. Well, nothing is perfect, Elena. You're not perfectly safe right now.
I'm a good deal safer than I would be doing another job. And that's what you're talking about, isn't it? A job. A safe one? What we used to call a piece of cake?
You're right, Elena. It's too risky. In all honesty, when it was over, when we had him in custody, he'd know who did it anyway.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I did an unfair thing in asking you. We'll find him, somehow. And when it's over, I'll call you and let you know what he's been doing, where he's been living, and with whom.
You're sure I would be safe?
You'll be safe. Well, not perfectly safe. Sergeant Enright will be there to meet you in the morning and escort you back. Goodbye, Elena.
She's coming here. How did you manage that?
You were right. She did have an affair with Venice. He ended it. A woman and a faithless lover. Two emotions to work on, and I used both.
Jealousy, and what was the other one?
Curiosity.
C-U-R... Curiosity, it fits. Aren't you supposed to be calling Sergeant Enright?
Coffee, sir. Would you like more coffee?
You know, Miss Standish, I sure would have liked to have known the commissioner in those days. I mean, I bet he was really something.
There's some information, Sergeant, that never gets declassified.
Yeah, I guess not. But I sure would have liked to have known him in those days. Not that it isn't a privilege to know him now, but I sure would have liked to have known him in those. Excuse me, do you mind if I try to catch 30, 40 winks before we land?
No, please do. I'm a little tired myself.
Sir, you'll have to deplane now.
Oh. Where's the lady who was seated next to me?
Everybody else deplaned 10 minutes ago.
Oh, that's impossible. How could I have... Coffee? Who served me coffee?
I must have. Why?
No, I didn't see the face, but her fingers were longer and she had dark nail polish.
I'm sure you're mistaken.
Of course you're not mistaken. The question is, where have they taken her?
They? Venice or Erickson?
Erickson. If it was Venice, she'd be dead. Where's the boss, Rita?
Boss? I'm the boss. My name's Betty Jane Morrison. You want to see some ID?
Commissioner McMillan's office.
Sergeant Enright, I want you to send a detail over to the Panama Club in North Beach. I want this place padlocked.
What?
The liquor license does not reveal the name of the true owner.
Commissioner, is this you?
And call the press room. Send some people over. I got a big story for them.
Forget it, Mac.
Forget it, Emily. Where is she, Mark?
She's one of ours, Mac. We're responsible for her security.
Do you
as
want
a matter
me to
of
arrest
law.
you?
On what?
Obstructing a criminal investigation. No, you don't want me to arrest you, so you're going to tell me where she is.
Let's talk a deal.
No deal. I want full cooperation between your people and my police department.
Well, that's a deal, isn't it? Okay, the Regency. When do you want to see her?
In about an hour.
All right, I'll be there to let you in. Now, look, I'm still in charge of security, or all bets are off.
I rushed these photos over from the lab as soon as possible, sir. They're pictures that Ruth Habib took at the carnival.
Thank you.
I'm truly sorry about losing Miss Standish on that airplane, sir.
Charlie, I allowed the excuse of drugged coffee on an airplane. Just once.
Thank you. Here's George Marion, sir.
Couldn't be anyone else. You saw him at the staging area.
Right.
Mr. Mustache? Do you know him?
Yes.
Who is he?
I don't know. I'm gonna meet Elena. Run a check on this photo.
Right.
Mrs. McMillan, I have 3 weapons, and I can kill you in less than a second without using any one of them. Now, I'm going to let you go. Don't scream. Where is he?
My husband? Well, he's at the office, I guess.
He's gone out. Where? Come on, he's wherever they're holding Elena Standish, isn't that right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose so. He didn't tell me where that was. He doesn't tell me his business problems. I guess he thinks I'm not interested. Isn't it just like a man?
You're telling the truth, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I am interested in his business.
I mean, you really don't know where he is. But you will soon. I'll bet he calls you every afternoon. You'd be crazy not to. I'll wait.
Isn't this a rather unusual place to hide somebody?
Well, the police schools recommend the out-of-the-way flea bag, but that's baloney. Give me a class place every time. A hitman sticks out like a midget at a football banquet. I've got her in a corner room. I've got a man walking the hall. That's 2 walls to the outside, 1 to the hallway, and 1 to the room next door.
Yours?
Of course.
Well, it's only fair to warn you. My housekeeper has a violent temper, and there's no telling what she'll do when she comes in and finds you here.
Your housekeeper's on vacation this week.
Yes, that's right. She's at her sister's. She always goes to her sister's when she's on the wagon. You see, her sister doesn't allow a drop of liquor in the house. That's the danger. That's what I'm trying to warn you about. There's no one more violent than Mildred when she's on the wagon. I suppose that doesn't scare you very much.
It's an animal wagon. Identical to the real thing as far as size, shape, floor drain, and even the smell. We cleared it with Habib, had it repainted to match his equipment. Nobody will give it a second glance. Now, there is one modification. With this window, you'll be able to see everybody through it, but nobody will be able to see you. It's a window from the inside and a mirror from the outside. And it's even bulletproof.
I don't know, Mac. Venice is a genius at disguise. And I haven't seen him for years.
You may not be able to recognize him, but still you might be able to help by simple process of elimination.
I suppose since Mark went to so much trouble to kidnap me, we're going to have to make it count for something, huh?
Would you like a drink? A glass of water? A sandwich? How about a game of 20 questions?
How about a little quiet?
Right. A little quiet.
It's a good plan, Mac. You should never have left the organization.
But?
Yeah, but. Has it occurred to you that we might be looking for somebody who doesn't exist? Suppose Venice is dead.
Then who killed Marion?
Maybe. Just maybe Marion killed Marion. All right? So Venice isn't buried where he's supposed to be. Well, there have been phony graves before, but that doesn't prove that somebody's alive. But Marion wanted the satisfaction of taking Venice. Now, when he found out there was no Venice...
No.
Prussic acid is a suicide's weapon.
What about the man on the balcony?
Ordinary sneak thief. He came in, saw the body, ducked out when you came in.
Then why the message with the Venetian blind? He was trying to tell us it was Venice.
Mac is right, Mark. When Marion spoke to me, he was not despondent or unhappy or in despair. He was just certain.
Sure. But when his certainty went wrong, then for him, everything was wrong.
Mark, the Venetian blind.
I've been thinking about that. Now, you know that Marion was always a joker, always a life of the party. But maybe he wasn't playing with a full deck. Now, if he killed himself because he found out that he was wrong, it'd be just like him to go out with a joke that'd convince us he was right, just to keep us puzzling for years.
I say we go on looking till we know, one way or the other.
Okay, when do we go snooping?
I think it should just be Elaine and me.
Just like old times.
And Sergeant Enright. He'll ride shotgun.
Mac, I can't give up my responsibility.
You're responsible here. I'll be responsible there. Let's not scare Venice off with a platoon of agents.
All right.
I'll pick you up at 6. That ought to get us to the carnival about 7. Doesn't give us much time. May I use your phone?
Be my guest.
Wait.
Hello?
Hi, honey. I'm...
Oh, Mac, I'm so glad you called. You didn't forget about Mildred's graduation tonight, did you?
Huh?
From her cooking class. Tomato and olive aspic.
Well, I don't think so. I'm with...
Oh, Mac, Mildred will be heartbroken.
I'm with...
Well, you'll just have to do the best you can.
Okay. There's an outside chance.
Good.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, I'm no mind reader. Where is it?
Oh. Oh, it's at the Epicure Club.
Oh, terrific. I'm at the Regency right across the street. I'll be right with you. I gotta go. Goodbye.
I love you too, darling. Goodbye. That wasn't fair. He only told me where he was because I happened to mention the name of that place across the street.
Lady, I'm in a hurry and I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah. You haven't heard the sugar. I'm going to admit, I don't want to put you in any extra trouble.
Father Regan?
Commissioner, what a pleasant surprise.
Is it?
Is it what?
Either one, pleasant or a surprise. What are you doing here?
Well, I don't know that I'm required to account for.
Not required, Father, but it would help.
I've been with the banquet manager, Mr. Kelso, about a benefit dinner for St. Barnaby's. The carnival people have generously offered to furnish the entertainment.
How long has this been planned?
Oh, all very last minute. I'm not the best organized man in the world. By the way, how's your investigation? Do you still believe your friend Mr. Marion was murdered?
Do you believe otherwise?
Well, it occurred to me that perhaps Mr. Marion found the man he was looking for.
And didn't turn him in?
Is it possible that he found his man and killed him?
It's possible. And then what?
The joys of vengeance are almost solely those of anticipation. Afterwards?
Suicide? Father, no offense, but I've had a law enforcement man tell me Marion may have killed himself because he didn't find Venice. Now you're trying to tell me that he killed himself because he did find him. Now, I'm not looking for a suicide motive. I'm looking for a murderer.
Hello, operator. Please dial the Regency Hotel for me.
The what?
The Regency Hotel.
That number can be reached by direct dialing.
Yes, I know, but I can't dial and tie up.
We're all very busy. But if you wish me to dial for you, very well.
Thank you.
What is the number, madam?
I don't know the number.
The number can be obtained from your telephone directory.
Yes, I know, but I can't reach my telephone directory.
If you are in need of additional directories, your
Operator, will you give me information?
furnish you. Directory assistance, dial 411.
I can't dial 411. I can't dial anything. You will have to dial.
Do I understand, madam, that you wish me to dial 411 for you?
Operator! Mrs. McMillan! Must be seeing things. Here, I thought I was sober.
Call the Regency Hotel.
What? Call the Regency Hotel.
Oh, first, I'm going to call the police.
No, call the Regency Hotel. Mac is there with Elena Standish.
You're right. This is no matter for the police. We'll handle this in our own way.
Yes, Father Regan's function. Citrus segments, top sirloin of beef.
How long has this been planned?
It started just this morning. Frankly, I'm against it. The thought of all those carnival types dribbling sawdust through our lobby. They never learn to
Hey,
like
what's
their
that
shoe.
for me?
If you don't mind, the house phone's over there. I'm expecting a phone call from a wedding party. Chicken Veronique, risole potatoes, peas au gratin, and chocolate chip ice cream. Chocolate chip.
Hi, Sally. Of course I knew it was you. What?
Max, it's Selena. She's been stabbed.
I'll call you right back. You're sure you're all right? Okay. She alive?
It's a nasty wound, half-inch deep, I say.
I told you I was going on the wagon. When I come home and find you like this, I wonder if it's worth it. Boy, I could use a drink.
No, Mildred, you've gone 4 straight days without a drink, haven't you?
I've been at my sister's 4 straight days, haven't I? And straight is the word, believe me.
4 days. That must be some sort of a record for you. I thought you said you were going to be gone all week. How come you came back? Couldn't you take it?
Oh, listen, I had to get out of there. It wasn't the drinking. I mean, I was doing fine. But I couldn't listen to my sister sober. You know, it's funny. When I was drinking, I always thought she was so amusing. She sounded just like me.
She didn't sound like you this time?
No, that was the depressing part. She still sounded exactly like me. Only nothing she said was funny.
Lucky. I just missed the rib cage, the lungs. An inch to either side, a little deeper. You understand, a wound of this sort, I must report.
You just did. I'm Commissioner McMillan.
Of course. Look, she's quite all right, but I'd recommend against any strenuous activity.
We'll take good care of her. And, Doctor, I'd appreciate it if you didn't report this to anyone else.
Yeah, no way. Bye.
Elena?
How do you feel?
Weak, but lucky.
How did it happen?
Well, I was next door, and she was dressing, and I heard a thud and a moan. When I got in here, she was on the floor, next to the window on her side. That was in her back. Now, you may want your guys to check prints on that.
Yeah.
She said that while she was dressing, she saw something.
Let me.
No, you're supposed to.
No, I can tell you. While I was dressing, something flew past the window and dropped. Like a body, or as though someone had jumped or fallen from above. So I did what anybody would do. Any fool. I went to the window and I looked out. Now, I must have heard that knife coming because I remember turning and then I think I passed out.
We got her on the bed, and then I called the doctor. Then I had the sidewalk checked below. Nothing. Now, if something like a hotel pillow was thrown from up above, a passerby must have walked off with it.
What about the rooms above?
Well, the room directly above is occupied by a salesman from Cleveland, but he appears clean. He was out.
And further up?
There is another floor, but it was vacant. There doesn't seem to have been anybody in there.
But it must have come from one of those rooms.
Well, it doesn't prove that someone didn't go in, does it?
Well, the guy that planned this is not going to leave any souvenirs.
That's what I mean.
The carnival.
No, we can take care of that in a day or two.
No, tonight. Don't you see? He doesn't know whether he's killed me or not. That gives us the advantage. Mark, may I have a moment alone with Mac? Sit down, Mac. Sally told you, didn't she?
What?
That Venice and I... that there had once been something between us.
Oh, and how could she know a thing like that?
I could tell by the way she looked at me. She's a woman, Mac. Women sense these things. And I'm a woman, too, and I know that she knew. She did tell you.
Well, she may have told me a little. I didn't believe her.
Ah, that's a mistake, Mac. You should always believe her. I loved him. God help me, I held him in my arms and I loved him. But it doesn't matter. When George Marion came to ask me for help, I wanted to help him. I knew I should want to help him.
You did help.
Yes, but part of me wanted Venice to escape. She told you that too, didn't she? When is it over, Mac? When does somebody stop loving somebody?
I think when he tries to kill you.
Dear Mac, cool and clear-sighted as always. Then try to understand that it must be tonight. While I still hate him. Tonight, Mac, please. Thank you.
Now just watch and relax. If you see anyone that interests you, speak up.
Does that apply only to spies?
What about them? Habib, he owns the carnival. The photographer is his daughter.
The father? It's hard to say. A little bit old, but that would be easy enough to do. There's something about the cheekbones.
It will make him impossible.
Haven't you checked out the backgrounds of the people who work here?
As far as we were able. Naturally, Venice would assume the identity of somebody who had to be clean. Kill and impersonate. Let's just concentrate on the physical types. The man with the cape, Kovacs.
I don't think so.
Are you sure? He does a human fly act, probably capable of scaling a hotel wall.
I really don't think so. The hands are different. Smaller.
Scratch Kovacs. What about the man with the sunglasses?
Impossible. Too much jaw.
Scratch sunglasses. What about her, Madame Olga?
A woman?
She's advertised as one.
Well, her records.
We don't know they're really hers. Didn't you say Venice escaped to England, disguised as a woman?
Not that one.
Scratch the madam. What about them? The one on the left is Aldo, a knife thrower.
No, I think he's too small. And the shoulders, they... Who's that? The man on the right.
I don't know. Yes, I do. It's, Harper. He runs a Ferris wheel.
You see, he's just the right shape. And his head. But the walk is all wrong. There was more spring to Venice's step.
Oh, a man can change his walk.
But why would he, unless he knew he were being observed?
Sykes here, Commissioner. I found something extremely important that I think you should see.
Can't it wait?
No, sir, we can't wait. Well, as you always say, you never know when one clue scientifically advanced may be the one clue that will get the job done, as it were. This is it, Commissioner.
All right, I'll be there. My lab man leaves nothing to chance.
Good. Venice leaves nothing to chance either.
I'll be at this number. Lock the door behind me. If you need Sergeant Enright, knock on that wall. And make sure he identifies himself.
Mac, you're mothering me.
I am. I'm sorry.
I haven't lived this long allowing strangers into rooms with no exits.
I assume you won't mind if I worry a little.
No, that'd be good for you.
Oh, please, Mrs. McMillan. You're forgetting my condition. Sober.
Sorry, Mildred. Why doesn't Mac call? Where is he?
Well, since we're asking questions, why don't we start with the big one? Who's he with?
Elena Standish.
Oh, yeah, the former spy. Swell.
He's worried about her. He thinks her life could be in danger.
And you?
I'm worried about Mac.
Good thinking.
Who's the man with a mustache? What does he want? I'm sure that he's following Mac and Elena right now.
Well, I certainly hope so. It's better than being alone together, isn't it?
Mildred.
This is what I raced all the way over here to see? I thought you said you cracked the case.
Actually, the crack is here, sir, in the handle of the knife. This is a Syrian camel skinning knife, possibly Iranian. There's an extensive literature on knives, which I've studied them all.
Sykes.
Sir, would you mind looking at this, please? You will observe that the lead core in the curved handle visibly cracked. A hairline fracture, you might say. True, nevertheless. How do you suppose that happened?
Probably stepped down by an overweight dromedary.
Oh, hardly, sir. I would have been able to detect some part of the animal's hoof. Is the commissioner joking?
The commissioner is not sure. What about the pills?
Oh, I have just finished testing the pills.
Good. What'd you find?
Each contains 27 grams of cellulose, 4.2 gram essence of...
Poison?
No, sir. No poison at all.
Do you mean to say that you called me all the way down here just to show me a crack in a knife?
Well, it's a recent crack, an irregularity on the murder weapon. Think of it, sir. Police lab, site here. Yes. It's for you, sir.
Yes?
Mac, the Ferris wheel man, Harper,
What about him?
he just went by again, and he's walking differently. More bounce. Springy.
Where'd he go?
Well, that's the funny thing. The Ferris wheel is closed, but he went over to it, and I haven't seen him leave. Should I send the sergeant over to look?
No, that would leave you alone. I'll be right over.
Miles.
Hold on, Commissioner! I saw the wheel stop and go, and I thought it was you.
Elena.
Elena! Elena! Open up!
Are you all right? Was there something by the Ferris wheel?
A dead man. I got my first good look at him. It's Miles Eisner.
But Miles was killed years ago. I mean, we saw.
We thought we saw.
You mean he's been alive all these years and nobody knew?
One person knew.
Maybe I was wrong, but it was necessary. Everybody assumed that Eisner was dead, and that gave me an agent who could work black. The only people who knew that Eisner was alive were Eisner and me. I was his control.
And you couldn't trust me enough?
I don't operate on trust. I operate on need
And
to
it
know.
didn't bother you all these
Of course
years?
it bothered me.
Well, not enough to tell me. I have a need to know now.
Eisner found out that Marion was going after Venice, and he was furious, wild with rage. It should have been his assignment. One unknown hunting another. He begged me to take Marion off the job and give it to him. When I refused, he disappeared.
What?
That's right. He broke away from me. I think Eisner followed Marion, thinking Marion would lead him to Venice, and then he could finish off Venice without worrying too much about technicalities.
Because he didn't exist, officially.
When Marion was killed, Miles latched onto you. He must have thought you were getting close.
I wasn't.
You didn't think so. Eisner did. It looks like he was right, doesn't it? You were close.
I get it. Eisner was the man with the mustache. Only you didn't figure it out because you...
Because he lost his hair and grew a mustache.
Right.
And besides, I didn't get a good look at him. Why did George Marion die in a chair?
You'll figure it out, darling.
Figure what out? Assume Venice tried to kill me. Why? Because he thinks Marion told me something? Because I brought Elena here? Something that happened in the carnival? Why did Marion die in a chair?
Going around in circles.
Any questions? Problem is which one to work on first.
Pick one. Flip a coin. Leave it to chance.
My lab man leaves nothing to chance.
Good. Venice leaves nothing to chance either.
Observe that the lead core of the curved handle.
Venice leaves nothing to chance.
Mac.
Neither did George Marion.
What are you mumbling about? The last thing I said was flip a coin.
Yes, you did. And I love you. Call Sergeant Enright. Tell him to pick up Aldo, the knife thrower, and bring him to Elena's room quickly as possible. And get the knife from Sykes and bring it along with him. And thanks.
Anytime. Why did George Marion die in a chair?
Nobody can say that.
Just walk right in.
Slip
right
off. Wherever they go. I mean, this joker just walks in and says, hey,
They're people.
you straight.
No, they have rights. They have rights.
Quiet! It's over. I just wanted to talk to Aldo.
What do you have against him? That he's a knife thrower?
I have nothing against him.
Aldo is not a suspect?
No, I need his expertise. There are no fingerprints on this knife, so we can handle it. Can you throw this knife?
If it's a knife, I can throw it.
Accurately.
It's a very old knife. Made for skinning, I would say, not throwing. Curved handle. Lead-filled, I would say. But it could be thrown accurately. I mean, I could hit a target with it. But the curve and the weight could cause the knife to flip over in flight.
Could you control it?
With practice, I could make this knife land point first almost all the time. Say 8 out of 10 throws.
Not good enough.
But I was hit by it. I didn't imagine this wound in my back.
Your wound is real enough. Nevertheless, the knife was not thrown.
What do you mean it wasn't thrown? It had to be thrown. She was alone in the room. Are you saying that somebody got through my security and then walked out again? Are you saying I did it?
If anybody threw the knife, it was Venice. But nobody could be sure the knife would land point first. As Elena reminded me, Venice leaves nothing to chance. Venice did not throw the knife. The knife was not thrown.
Then how did Elena get that?
The attack on Elena came rather late in the game. Let's back up a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. Sergeant.
Sir?
You up to a little role playing?
Anything to say, sir.
Right. Your name is George Merriam. You are alone in your room at the Sands Inn. You've just swallowed prussic acid, but you don't know it yet. You take it in a capsule. But when you feel it, you'll know what it is. You feel it. You now have 30 seconds left to live. You now realize a spy named Venice poisoned you, and you know who Venice is because you know who had access to your capsules. You grab for a pen on the table. But it won't write. Your friend McMillan is due any minute. So how can you get a message to him that'll implicate Venice?
Venice. Ven is Venetian blind.
Very good. Now, take a look at this. You fell on the floor, but Marion's body is sitting in a chair.
Well, I did exactly what you told me.
And you were perfect.
So Marion is seated in a chair.
And the Venetian blind is on end.
Not only that, but his body is braced up against it, so it'll stay that way. Now, why go to all that trouble if the message was Venice did it?
That wasn't the message.
Not all of it. The Venetian blind represents Venice. And it was on end. Upright.
Venice is upright?
Pretty close. Mark, it works in English. But remember that funny fractured German Marion used to use? Venice is on end. Upright. Standing up. Venice is standing.
Venice is standing. Venedig steht.
No, fractured.
Venice standish is. Venice is standish.
That's right. Venice is Elena Standish.
Mac, that's the worst joke since George Marion changed the washroom signs at Russian Secret Intelligence. You are serious?
There never was a Venice. You created him years ago when you became a double agent. When your missions were betrayed, sold out, you blamed it all on Venice, a man only you had seen.
I don't believe you're saying this.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And there's no way to prove it, one way or the other. I mean, you know that.
Your creation of Venice was brilliant. It assured you of perfect retirement with honors. All of your missions were successful except for the few he betrayed, which, of course, nobody would blame on you. So with no further need for him, you let us believe he had died. Unfortunately, Marion discovered the corpse was a phony and set out after Venice. You couldn't let that go on, could you?
Why not? What could he find? He was looking for a man who didn't exist.
Marion was a skillful agent. If he'd looked long enough, he'd realize he was looking for a... What was it he used to say?
A tall, short...
Yeah. No, a tall, thin, short, fat, bald man with curly hair. Marion used to say that if you start looking for him, you better give a hard look at the people giving the description. He'd have figured it out. He'd have reached that point.
So I killed George Marion. He died in San Francisco while I was in Taos, but I killed him? How? Oh, I know. I flew in on my broomstick and I told him that the pills were candy.
When you found out he was after Venice, you knew you'd have to kill him. So when he came to your place, your dog set him to coughing and sneezing, and he had to take one of his pills, and it all fell into place for you. You got a hold of his capsules and put poison in one of them.
Oh.
Now, wait a minute. She couldn't have known when he'd take it.
All the better. She'd given him a lead to Venice that guaranteed him a tour of every carnival in the country. They all have animals. So he took his pills, and by, he took the one that counted, far away from her.
And the suspects would be carnival people?
Of course.
You're not taking this seriously, are you?
How did she get the knife in her back?
Oh, I'm surprised at you. I thought every intelligence man knew that trick. Incidentally, this is the part that cracked the knife handle. Now, this part takes real guts. She backed into this, released the door, and walked to the window with a knife in her back. Something like this.
That's quite enough. I want to see everybody's hands at all times. And I do hope I don't have to demonstrate the alternative.
As one professional to another, Elena, you've got the wrong hostage. I mean, if I were escaping, I'd take with me a high police official. He wouldn't scream or get hysterical. And I would, in effect, have the opposition commander under my control.
Are you volunteering? I assume you will be kind enough to call and remove your operatives from the lobby.
Where to, Elena?
Cab to the airport.
Then,
You charter a plane.
to take us where?
You don't have to say where. You're the commissioner. It's an emergency.
That's right. You won't have to name a destination until the plane's in the air. Then where? If you were an agent for a foreign government, probably be a boat waiting for you in some lonely harbor or another plane waiting somewhere. But you've got no homeland to go to. It's only a question of which country will put you in prison for life or which country will execute you.
Keep moving, Mac.
No,
I'll kill you.
you're gonna do that anyway, aren't you? If it isn't here, it'll be someplace else, probably with a lot of people around. At least here, there'll only be one more casualty. But remember, once you've killed me, you've got no hostage. And that leaves Erickson's men free to kill you, probably before you get out of the lobby.
You knew how all this would end, didn't you? You planned it, Mac. All of it. Getting the people to look at the knife. Giving me the chance to... And you tricked me.
Let's face it, it's over. You're a spy with no cover, You've got nowhere to go. It's all over.
Well, I told you you'd figure it out. There's only one thing that I can't figure out. Usually when you figure it out, I can figure out how you figured it out. Only this time, I can't figure it out.
Okay. What can't you figure out?
Well, Elena killed Eisner. How did Elena kill Eisner? I mean, she was sealed in the animal cart and he was at the Ferris wheel.
Easy. She wasn't sealed in. The world was sealed out. When you're protecting somebody, you guard against break-in, not break-out.
Yes, but Enright would have seen her walk out the door.
That was a real animal cart we used. Had a drain in the floor. All she had to do was lift the grill off, climb out from underneath. She got back in the same way.
I never could have known that.
You know, when we were at her house, she lied to us. I should have had it, but you almost got it.
I did. You mean when she told us about that last meeting with Venice?
A spy never tells another spy when he's retiring.
But I told you that it wasn't spy to spy. I told you that it was man to woman.
Makes it all the more unbelievable. When a man ends a love affair, he doesn't go to all of that trouble to arrange a meeting with the lady. He goes to all that trouble to avoid it.
You know you're right.
Of course I'm right.
How did you know all of that?
Oh, in my younger days.
Yes.
I was an insatiable reader. Hey, wait a minute.
What?
How did you know I was right?
Well, in my younger days,
Yes.
I think we read the same books.
আব্বা আম্মা যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইট একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শুন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও, আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না? তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই?
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়াই আসছিস। এই, আসো। এই, কি তোরা সকালবেলা এরকম কাঁদতেছিস কেন? আব্বাও কাঁদতেছে, আম্মাও কাঁদতেছে। আম্মা কি সকালবেলা কি সিরিয়াল দেখা শুরু করছে? তাহলে কিছু চুরি হয়েছে বাসা? কেউ মারা গেছে? কেউ কি মরার আগে হসপিটালে অ্যাডমিট হয়েছে? তাহলে কি হয়েছে? সবাই এরকম আয়োজন করে কাঁদতেছে কেন?
বাবা মা বলতেছে আমার নাকি পড়াশোনার দরকার নাই, ধান থাকলে নাকি ধানের মাঝে চিটাও থাকে, আমি নাকি চিটা।
হ্যাঁ, তোর তো ঠিকই বলছে। আর তুই কখনো দেখছো আব্বা আম্মা পোলাপানের সাথে মিথ্যা কথা বলে?
ভাই কি ওই কথা কইছে? কইছে আমার 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়ে করা লাগবে, বিয়ে করা 9 মাসের মধ্যে বাচ্চা পয়দা দেওয়া লাগবে।
মাত্র 9 মাস টাইম দিছে? তুই তো নির্ঘাত ফেল করবি। মানে তোর যে পড়াশোনার কন্ডিশন, তুই 9 মাসের সাথে তোর আরো মিনিমাম 4 মাস টাইম দেওয়া লাগবে, তারপর যদি 12। আকার দোকানদাররা অবশ্য নতুন যারা বিয়ে করে তাকে চেয়ার দিকে তাকায় থাকে 2 পয়সা ইনকামের জন্য। তোর দিয়ে এটাও হবে না, তুই চিন্তা বাদ। হ্যাঁ বল।
তুইও?
কি?
আমি আগে সন্দেহ করছিলাম তুই আমার মায়ের পেটের ভাই না। মায়ের পেটের ভাই হলে তুই এরকম করে কথা বলতে পারতি না। তোর আমার না কোনো মিল নাই, না আছে স্বভাবের মিল, না আছে চরিত্রের মিল, না আছে তোর এই যে চেহারার মিল। গায়ের কালারের মিল, কোনো কিছু মিল নাই। বাইকটা
শোন, আব্বা আম্মাই যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শোন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও, আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না, আমি তোমার জীবনের বাধা। তোরা কেউ আমার ভালো চাস না, তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই।
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। শোন, আমি তোর ছোট হিসেবে চাই তুই আব্বা আম্মার কথাটা শোন, তুই 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়েটা কর, আমি কবজি ডুবায়া তোর বিয়ের কাচ্চি খাবো, বুঝছস? এই, আসো।
চোখ বন্ধ করলে তুমি যে কি করবে আমি জানি না।
কি বলো, কি করব?
জানি জানি আমি।
বন্ধ করো না, চোখ বন্ধ করো।
সত্যি কিছু করবে না তো?
100%।
ঠিক আছে, করলাম।
Will you marry me?
মোবাইল, নতুন মোবাইল, লাখ করছো কি তুমি? থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
কে?
স্যার, কুরিয়ার।
দাঁড়াও। ওরা তো বাসায় কেউ নেই, তুমি টেবিলের উপর রেখে দিয়ে যেতে পারবে?
জি জি স্যার, অবশ্যই স্যার। স্যার, রিসিপ্ট স্যার, সই লাগবে স্যার একটা।
কলম দাও, কলম।
স্যার, বাইক থেকে নামার পরে স্যার কলমটা খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না স্যার। স্যার, একটা কলম হবে?
দাঁড়াও।
জি। যেহেতু আমার লোন দেওয়ার মতো লোকের অভাব, তাই আমি প্রথম পদ্ধতিটাই বেছে নিলাম। নিজের জন্য নয়, এই জীবনে প্রথম আমি চুরি করলাম। যে আমার মন চুরি করেছে তার জন্য, মালার জন্য।
ঠিকানাটা কি আছে ওখানে?
জি স্যার।
ঠিকানা?
স্যার, আলেকজান্দ্রিয়া, ইজিপ্ট, মিশর থেকে আসছে স্যার।
ও, মিশর। মিশর তো দারুণ একটা জায়গা, বিশেষ করে অ্যান্টিক্সের জন্য। আমি যতবার গেছি মিশরে, ততবারই আমি কিছু না কিছু নিয়ে এসছি সেখান থেকে।
স্যার, আজকে আসি স্যার।
হ্যাঁ,
আজকে আসি স্যার, একটা ডেলিভারি আছে তো।
ও আচ্ছা, এসো।
অন্ধপুরের ঘড়ি বিক্রির টাকায় মালার জন্য একটা ভালো মোবাইল কিনে ফেললাম। ফলে বাকি চুরির জিনিসপত্র নিয়ে আমি মোটেও ভাবিত ছিলাম না। মালা,
আজকেও দেরি করে আসছো, প্রত্যেক দিন তুমি দেরি করো, কি সমস্যা তোমার?
তুমি না বলো যে আমার মধ্যে একটা নায়ক নায়ক ভাব? দেখো না সিনেমায় নায়ক দেরি করে ফেলে, নায়িকা অপেক্ষা করে থাকে। আচ্ছা সরি 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 সরি। মন খারাপ করো কেন? তোমার জন্য একটা জিনিস আনছি, বলো কি আনছি।
কি জিনিস দাও? কি আনছো দাও না।
না না না, তুমি একটু চিন্তা করে দেখো কি আনছি।
এত চিন্তা করতে পারবো না তো।
বলো, মাথাটা একটু খাটাও।
আরে কি ঘোড়া ডিম নিয়ে আসছো, দাও না দাও।
আচ্ছা তাহলে চোখ বন্ধ করো।
চোখ বন্ধ করলে তুমি যে কি করবে আমি জানি না।
কি বলো, কি করবো?
জানি জানি আমি।
বন্ধ করো না, চোখ বন্ধ করো।
সত্যি কিছু করবে না তো?
100%।
ঠিক আছে, করলাম।
Will you marry me?
মোবাইল, নতুন মোবাইল, আল্লাহ করছো কি তুমি? থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। আমার একটা ফোন কি দরকার ছিল জান, তুমি এটা কি করছো?
ভালো হয়েছে না? ভালো হয়েছে না? দেখো বলছিলাম না, তোমার কথা দিছিলাম না, ছবি তুলে দেখো।
হ্যাঁ ছবি তো তুলবই, দাঁড়াও। নতুন মোবাইলের প্রথম ছবি তোমার সাথে। আসো।
Mày tao nhiều hơn mà. Ê, broccoli, tao thiếu một đồ đấy. Ui. Đúng ra. Đúng ra. Ơ sao tao xét kiểu đéo mà nên 10 chết. 6 hắc ám mà. 6 hắc ám cái đéo bây giờ. 6 hắc ám. Chết 8. Mỗi con này nó xong mà. Cái đéo gì nhỉ? Cái đéo gì nhỉ? Cho không? Ok broccoli. Em mua thanh quỷ vãi bíp. Vãi binh chỉ linh. Xét bế cho tao, xét bế Guardian tao, để Guardian chơi điêu. Mày thích chơi đi, mày carry. Được ơi. Ui không. Guardian chết rồi. Guardian gà vãi. Ui, con kêu 3 lại. Đánh bóng á, báo sự căng căng ấy. Guardian carry mà. Chuẩn vợ. Chư. Trừ ngay 300 tỷ à? 300 tỷ kiểu. Ui nào có đấy nhỉ? Phải chưa? Hỏng ấy. Hỏng đấy. Chuẩn không rồi. Để căng ấy. 400 tuổi. 400 tuổi bay phát nữa không? Em Vũ à? Em Vũ mày... em Vũ reboot rồi à? Bảo sao? Khoe không được một lap. Đó, có hôm nhìn như nghiện này, hôm đi ăn mà quà thằng nướng nhìn như khác gì nghiện đâu. Quỷ mà, như trốn chạy ra đi ăn mà. Thằng éo rồi sao? Xét full tanh không nhở? Ê chịu rồi, xét cực. Chút nhảy vào đầu quá nhở. Mẹ cuộc sống. Đéo cho anh bố à? đúng không? Là đằng sau quả tên lửa ấy, bách về đây. Ê, không sao, nó thằng Zone cuối ấy, kiểu đéo gì cái ngu nhỉ. Vòng này, góc này, tất cả đều góc này, tất cả đều góc đấy, tất cả đều góc này, tất cả đều góc đúng một thằng này. Thằng bé quỷ cũng hay là kiếm Lam Chi Liệt vẫn tuột dậy. Lơ mồm lơ mồm nhỏ nhỏ rồi. Hỏng rồi, đây anh kệ để quay cả màn hình CC. Quỷ anh quỷ mà. Ôi hỏng rồi, 31 máu à. Rồi thế à, cái Zero phải đại tự đánh ấy. Đó rồi mình có auto. Thì auto này. Trừ mày auto. Anh đang bay rất cật lực ấy, anh đang bay rất cật lực đấy. Ui tao thua rồi, đánh cái thằng ngực chết này khó quá. Anh chưa lên 3 cái vui, đồ thiếu một cái đồ thôi, lắp diệt vậy. Này chắc là phải lắp diệt rồi, anh nhớ đồ. Đấy cầm 3 giá rồi, giờ ta chỉ nghĩ đến 2k5. Vài đấy, cái gì cơ? Ở chấm mà để góc này lên góc trái phải chung tàu. Anh em quá quen con số đấy ở trong Pet Simulator. Không? Nào xét thắng là không vậy thầy, anh đánh bài thần bài đèo hay cũ nhưng mà trời nó bị kiểu đéo gì ấy, anh đánh toàn bài đèo chung toàn chị ở 5 còn ra ngoài 5 và đang trên ông bị đẩy ra xuống top 5 mà điêu hiểu luôn à. Ta đang hồi anh comeback mày mà kia con kêu kia nó vẫn chết đấy Zone ơi, bảo mà bằng chết Zone rồi, thôi anh đi rồi. Rồi xong, điều 15 máu. Thấy không? Mình vẫn di chuyển được lắm anh em. Không phải là mình cứ kệ thế đâu. Yes. Em phải ra là sao ấy, sự nhật sao ấy. Xong rồi, mà ui, sau ba có tiền ra zone trứng xong. Gì. Lần trứng cũng qua auto. Sao cũng qua auto zone trứng nữa chứ. Rồi anh ra đánh trận cả. Sắp được 5 tiếng. Sắp được 5 tiếng. Quỷ mà. Anh quay từ giờ đến lúc đi tập gym mà đứng dậy chống đẩy và phải động các kiểu gì mình 7:30 bắt đầu đi. Giờ tối nay à? Đúng rồi, để anh đi về đã. Về xong rồi đánh cờ 1 tiếng xong đi là tiếng 8 mình. Anh mới khôi tập tối mà, tối mát mát ấy. Không nọ anh bị mấy thằng bảo vệ trêu hay sao em ạ, xử cay đấy. Bảo vệ này. Ui anh Cương, gắt đi, gắt đi. Phải chưa? Ta. Lái ô tô mà ăn quỵt ai á? Thế phong bạt không? Mày thích phong bạt không? Mày thích phong bạt không? Mày phong bạt hả? Mày phong bạt? Thằng phong bạt. Mày thích phong bạt không? Ui phong bạt, thằng phong bạt này là phong bạt. Và khởi đầu tổ đăng kính thôi. Đông là mấy người? Đông là 4 người à? Đông là 4 người. Tao tưởng 4 thôi. Đấy, tao thấy đăng ảnh có mày này, mày, Cương với cả bọn hai cái cặp kia nữa. Đây là tưởng 4. Này à? Anh giờ cũng đi sao? Phải đấm vắt vỡ kinh ngõ xong đây có nhìn gì đâu, gì không một. Chuẩn không? Muốn mày cả cứt à? Căng không? Cái muốn mày ở cứt à mua? Ê, 3 giờ trời này có ổn không vậy? Quên quá. Biết trời như cứt thì làm gì. Thôi rồi, bởi vì tại 3 giờ mà trời này sự cổ áo ấy. Trốn. Cái gì đâu ra vậy? Không. Mày chưa chọn loại à? Song đấu hắc ám hiền giả, chuẩn không vậy? Cái bài đéo về đây. Được em. Code web à? Code web à? Web à? HTML bị phải không Tuấn? Mấy cái thằng HTML Tuấn, cái thằng HTML code chuyên code web ấy. Cái thằng HTML chuyên code web phải không? Đấy à? Đó, mấy cái đấy thôi. Còn đâu mấy cái khác rồi phải khác. Có phải ảnh à? Code check. Nó chỉ code chứ kiểu mấy cái ấn thôi, còn đâu có phải ảnh mấy cái khác phải không? Full stack à?